Awesome.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. We are streaming live now, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, we are.
Correct. Fantastic. Hello, everyone. My name is my name is Zanny. I am the Storm Meeple, and this is our Curse of Strahd, Aviendahl homebrew campaign. My very first homebrew it's a semi-homebrew campaign. I'm still using the module of Curse of Strahd, but the world itself is a different world. It's not Faerun. It is set in Aviendahl, a a blighted post-apocalyptic sort of world that I've created. We'll go through the specifics of that in just a moment. However, I would like to. Which Twitch channel are we on? Sorry, I'm seeing your message come up.
One
I'm not
sec.
playing this. Let's go to the Twitch channel.
I'm on it.
We'll deal with that. I mean, that's fantastic. Um, what I'd like to do is just go around the table, introduce people who are here. One of our players will be here in a minute, I believe. But we made a little bit of a mistake regarding, and I've been plugging this game as GMT +1, but it's actually my fault there. Okay, so the table. Can I ask? Let's start with some of the oldies, and then we'll move on to the newies. Let's start with Kitten, please.
Hi, I'm Kitten. I am going to be. Well, I've created my character so far, and I have got Charon, and he is a grave cleric. Oh, that is so loud in my head! Thank you for the follow to displays. I need to turn that down. I'm going to be playing a character called Charon, and he's a Warforged Grave Cleric. He's sort of gone with the sort of male-esque humanoid form. However, he doesn't really believe in gender. So to be fair, for his pronouns, it's he, him, but then they, them. It's fine. Either one's okay.
That's my fault. Sorry, logging onto Twitch. So I can see what's going on. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. We'll go through a little bit more about characters in just a moment. Let's move on to. Let's start with. Let's go on to Kellen.
Hey, I'm Kellen. I'm looking at a character this time called Dave. Going to be a little bit of a twist on a warlock type character and a little bit of surprise on race. So we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Brilliant. So Kitten and Callum are, if you are following us already, you might recognize them from our previous campaign, which is not over, just on hold because we have a lot of characters at the moment, players who can't make it, and some people who've had to rearrange their schedules. They can't do Fridays at the moment, so we have to sort of just wait a little bit longer to get that back on track. COVID, despite the fact that we're all at home. COVID has not been particularly good for Dungeons and Dragons players. It's not for us. Moving on next, how about Sithis? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, hi, I'm Sethis. I'm currently in the middle of moving, unfortunately, which has also been held up by COVID. I usually do Rise streams and play for games over on my channel. When I have a better setup, then I'll be back playing some IO2 and Apex and stuff when I can stream well.
Fantastic. But I really hope your move goes well because I know that's like the most stressful thing you can possibly do, and particularly this must be the worst time for you to be moving right now. Actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody wearing masks. Everybody trying to stay away from each other.
Oh yeah, it's been horrible. Bad realtor too.
Poor man. Moving on to our new player who's joining us. Even though of my little mix-up, he'll probably be with us, hopefully. Let's move on to Nick. Can you tell us about yourself a little bit, Nick?
I can describe myself as an aspiring but still novice DM, and one that really wants to think of those NPCs that you know who that your DM always wants to play but never gets the chance. Those. We're going to see which one makes it into this campaign.
Yay, sounds good.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. We had a little bit of a chat earlier, didn't we? And I think there's some really fun little ideas that are going to come out of this. Hello, hey Bob, you joined us now.
Yes, sorry, I didn't realize that I was actually downstairs.
That's
It's not
okay.
your fault. We made a mistake. GMT +2, not GMT +1. It's been completely.
Oh, so it was supposed to start 20 minutes ago? Oh dear, okay.
No,
It's
that's
not your
that's our
It's
fault.
completely been us. Because we completely forgot about the change in the time to summer. And so we're still going around happily going GMT +1, GMT +1. I don't know if that's going to be okay for you because I know you said there's going to be a short break between the two games.
Well, if it was gonna be just that one instead of two, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
Saturdays are completely open for me at the moment, so.
Oh, okay, cool. That's brilliant. Sorry, I just realized that I might have been tripping people up with that meaning too. I need to go and change the actual setting as we're looking for our final player still. We're just basically, we only just started. Basically, we're just going around the table just introducing ourselves. So,
I kind of figured.
if you want to just introduce who you are.
Hi, my name's Bob, or Xander, if you want to go by my accent.
There's two, Zanny and Zonda. Two
Oh,
Zondas.
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, some Buffy fans around.
Actually, I chose Xander as my new name. It's traditionally Alexander, and I decided to shorten it to Xander. And I've been playing 5e since essentially its launch 5 years ago, and I picked it up. I picked up the PSP, and it's at the launch. And also the DMG, I think. I stopped really buying the books in game after I realized I could get them online.
Yeah.
And I've been DMing for a majority of my D&D career, but I've only recently, like 2 years ago, ended my long running campaign with my group of players, and started being a player. So since then, I have been trying to fill as much of my life as possible with D&D. And this will be like my 7th game I am part of at the moment. And this is surprisingly one of the few days I don't have D&D, so I'm very happy.
Fantastic. Well, if you want to be called Xander, that's fine. It's kind of weird.
You can still call me Bob. I also have a Twitch channel. I forgot to mention. I don't really use it that much anymore. I tried to get it back up and running at one point. It was called It's Just Bob. I played COD a lot. It was I might go back into it.
Because you say your name is just Bob. I'm thinking of Dennis C. Taylor's Bobiverse series. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, well, if you like the name Bob, then it's definitely a sci-fi series I recommend.
Okay.
It's basically about like a guy. I'm not trying to go off into too much of a tangent here, but basically it's about a guy who gets his consciousness uploaded into like an AI, and he ends up becoming a Van Neumann probe, and like having to go off into the universe and like create more Bobs. And so it's called the Bobiverse because like he has to keep replicating and sending himself off into the distance, and then dealing with the fact that humans keep blowing themselves up and trying to help them stop them blowing themselves up.
That's so interesting because the whole reason why I chose It's Just Bob is because I just wanted to be a generic name for my cartoon character persona.
It's funny because even the way you say Bob, you sound like Ray Porter, who's the audio voice. But you can tell I love this series. I don't even know who does the audio books for it. You actually, when you say the way you say Bob, that actually even sounds like the way it's something like just Bob. Like
I will definitely look into this. Should we tell anything about our characters we're playing on?
Yeah, we're going to go around. We're going to go around quickly. We'll just do a little introduction about Aviendahl. and sort of thing you can ask any questions if you want, and then we'll go around and discuss characters and we'll roll stats. We're gonna roll stats.
Okay, so no character stuff. Just
Okay. So, talking about, so I'm just going to quickly respond to that message I just received. Yes. And okay, cool. So, it seems we already have character secrets coming out, and I've made it in our character sheet that people have to like say a secret that no one wants to know, so that we can actually talk about it. So please, if you discuss your characters today, do not discuss your secret you don't want anyone else to know. That's on your character sheet. Don't tell everyone what it is, because it would be interesting to see if you figure out what they are as you go again. Kind of like a hidden agenda as you go throughout the first couple. All right, so we're talking about this world. So we are going to be running a Curse of Strahd campaign. Curse of Strahd takes place in Barovia in its own private sort of sub-realm. So it's not going to be affected too much by the setting of the rest of the game. What I'm going to be doing is I want to play Curse of Strahd as our sort of like our campaign to start us off. If you guys decide that if we get to a certain point in the campaign and you guys drift off and manage to back into Aviendahl, that's fantastic. If you find ways for temporary reprieve, which may happen, you may find yourself back in Aviendahl and for side quests or for even the character arcs. But the main setting will be Barovia. However, it will be a Barovia that knows about the state of this world that you're working in. So it's not Faerun. It's attached instead to this other realm. Now, Aviendahl is a world in which basically the good guys lost. The Lich Masters managed to take over the world. They have completely swept aside the previous civilizations that inhabited Aviendahl and have filled the wilds with monsters and minions. They basically their final goal is to wipe out the last bastions of civilization, which are known as the sanctuary cities, and these sanctuary cities are towns and cities that are protected by different forces, so as to be able to hold back the teeming hordes of the undead and their mellifluous masters. Not so malicious masters, not mellifluous, because that means sorry, the malicious masters. Get a bit of alliteration in there. So these sanctuary cities are granted their status by an event that occurred in the past of Aviendahl. What happened basically was when the Curse of Undeath unleashed its wave across the lands, and the dead came back to an unlife and started attacking the living and basically wiped out entire cities' population, entire countries' populations in one go. It had a serious effect on the gods. Basically, the curse itself had transferred itself into the gods and shattered their essence. And these gods, these sort of essences, took time to recoalesce, and when they did, they found themselves attracted to sites that were hallowed ground for them and for their followers. So basically what happens is the shards of the gods, not the whole god itself, but the shards of their consciousness are kind of an echo of what they used to be. It has found itself embedded in a location and provided a sort of an area of reprieve for undead. The combined powers of the different shards that sort of have congregated there have created the sort of like almost like warded zone for the undead, and that's where the sanctuary cities were created. The refugees from their previous civilizations, they ran to these areas that were, for some reason, untainted and free of the undead, and they started raising their cities there, including, of course, their own defensive features and properties. End up defining the city. So, for example, the starting town you're beginning in is Malafair, which is the steam citadel, and it's a very industrialized citadel that is populated mainly by dwarfs, goblins, and gnomes. Humans are there as well. Humans are everywhere. And there's a scattering of other races that are also present there. So, I mean, basically, you can find all in these sanctuary cities. It's just that there'll be like main population, sort of like centers of main populations. Okay? And because of sort of like the ingenuity of these races, you've got the sort of the stone masonry and the crafting of the dwarfs and the goblins, sort of intricate, sort of innate trickery and clever hands, and the gnomes need to tinker. Basically, they create this almost steampunk-like citadel that uses sort of almost like geothermic power to power its defenses, which include like steam spewing guns. They have like an order of mages within the city, which provides a shrouded mist around the walls, which disorientates and confounds any attempts to sort of like send magical. So this is just one of the locations. Now, Aviendahl, and I'm going to be completely honest with everybody who's watching Aviendahl, I'm still creating it as I go. I've got a very good grounding for it, but at the same time, it's still kind of a living concept, and it's my first opportunity doing homebrew. So I hope that you will be a little bit patient with me. I'll do my best and make sure that you have a wonderful playing experience, a lot of effort into making sure that everything's up and running for every session. Try and get a session ahead, as it were. But this is still a sort of a living concept for me. I have a World Anvil account that I'll be sort of continuously adding to as we go through, and I'll make sure you all have access to that, so that any lore or anything that comes up in the conversations will be added to that. And basically the way that the way this is going to be is that each of you is going to be inducted into the Guild of Wayfarers, which is that will be your faction that you will be engaged in. You can have other factions and sub-factions, but one of them you all have to be connected to is the Guild of Wayfarers. The reason for that is because each of you will undergo a ritual that will make your individual immune to the curse of undeath. Okay, so only Wayfarers can do that, and you have a duty that you have to perform. I will provide you with a pamphlet with what your duties are as a Wayfarer. How you decide to interpret those duties is up to you. Basically, think of it a little bit like being a paladin. You have your order. You have your sort of your guidelines, and it's kind of expected that you might follow them. However, you might interpret them in different ways depending upon the circumstance and situation. Yes, and just to clarify for our listeners and our watchers as well, in this campaign, the thing about the Sanctuary Cities is that there is no longer a taboo or of any kind on monstrous creatures. Traditionally, there's more chaotic or chaotic leaning individuals. So, for example, things like orcs, minotaurs, goblins, kobolds, yuan-ti, kenku, all those sort of individuals are accepted within the Sanctuary Cities. The only problem that they have is with undead, because the sort of the hallowed ground kind of makes them the hallowed ground sort of makes it very difficult for the undead to enter. So it might be, if you, for example, just be like a vampire kin, that would be very difficult. However, if you are a wayfarer, you do get a certain leeway. So, for example, if you decide that you're going to be a necromancer, you can still become a necromancer and sort of summon your undead minions The only difference is that kind of by being a member of Guild of Wayfarers, you're granted an exception, and the actual seal that you carry sort of lifts the taboos upon your person, upon all the people who live there, like from dabbling in undeath. It's not to say you can't be an evil character. You can be an evil character if you want to be, or you can be a scrupulous character if you want to be. People come in to join the Guild of Wayfarers for very different reasons. You might be there for riches. You might be there because you're searching for some lawful law. Either way, it is a bit like any other faction. It does not tie you into one particular style of play.
Nice.
Okay, so I know there's been a lot to take in. So what I thought we'd do now is any questions that you guys have for me, or that before we start going into characters.
I have one.
You got one?
Yeah, Bob, go ahead.
No, I just you can go ahead first.
We're so polite.
No, after you. No, after you.
Okay then. Guilds can we find in these cities?
Okay, so basically, I'm going to give you a map for Manather. Each one of you will have a map anyway, so you'll see what sort of guilds will be available in different cities. But there is a guild of artificers in most cities. There will be merchants guilds and explorers guilds. There will also be guilds representing different works of life. For example, there would be a guild of blacksmiths, guild of craftsmen, more likely. There would be a guild of tailors, a guild of I don't want to go into Terry Pratchett, like Guild of Assassins. Thieves Guild probably exists there as well, although no one knows whether it actually exists. It might do, depending on that's if you feel that your character is a member of the Thieves Guild, you know.
I want to advertise that.
Is there a particular guild for?
Alchemists Guild.
Yes, there will be an Alchemists Guild.
Or anything relating to not the making of potions, but the use of any non-magical means of repairing bodies, or the use of magical items to repair bodies in non-magical ways.
Like herbalism or like medicinal?
I didn't think it more of like medicine, more of
I mean things more like potions and poultices and things like that, like traditional healing methods.
I was thinking more of like embedding magical items in people to fix different problems, more like magical surgery.
Like cybernetics!
Like augmentation?
Well, to be honest, I hadn't thought of that, but that's actually a very interesting idea. Let me get back to you on that before the next session. I will, but however, the idea of which specializes in healing would not, or healing methods would not be unusual in a world where basically one bite means death.
I have much more I have to it that I have thought of. If you want, I can bounce more ideas off you later.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Please do. As I said, this is my first homebrew, so any ideas that people want to throw at me, I can't promise I'll agree with all of them, and they might not fit in the overall narrative that I have, sort of as an idea. Obviously I'll adapt to you as well because you're players, but if I feel that it would sort of detract from the world or the setting, then I might just apologize and say I'm sorry. Yes, if you could send me a few of those ideas that you have, that'd be fantastic. I'll have a look over them and see if they would be good for camp.
Question.
Yeah.
Speaking of ideas that you've been given, are we actually going to be using the Cardic Inspiration?
We are.
Awesome.
Yes, we are. We discussed that. Just before we went live, we discussed that. I'm going to be using Cardic Inspiration. Kit's going to show me how to get the cards sorted out so we can do that beginning next session.
Sure.
Awesome.
Which will be on Saturday.
This is going to be great. Okay. That was
okay.
That was my suggestion.
Talking about that, yes, we're going to be using homebrew rule, the Cardic Inspiration rule, house rule. Sorry, the house rule carding inspiration. We're also going to be using the sort of the critical damage chart where you can, if you roll over a certain amount of HP, you can possibly inflict a critical wound on an opponent. And we will also be working. We will also be doing the lingering injuries table, so including that as well, because I really love it when someone thinks they can charge in to fight an ogre and then their hands cut off. Something like that.
Yeah, so it punishes stupidity.
It punishes stupidity, exactly. It punishes stupidity or really bad luck. It just happened. Poor Kellum Kellum has been the worst affected out of everybody in this, haven't you, Kevin?
Yeah. Right now, not normally out of stupidity, but out of bad luck. I can get some pretty bad rolls on that chart.
Hey,
you always had a bit of bad luck, didn't you, in that respect? You ran in to save someone and lost an eye, if I remember correctly. You ran in to save Weird Hal and lost an eye.
That's the first mistake, saving someone.
You just roll with the punches, man. It's D&D. That's how it works.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You did manage to convince Kotos to give you an eye, though, didn't you? To repair your eye for you.
Eventually. It took some time.
You had to sit down and listen to his stories for a while.
Oh.
Okay, sorry, we're talking about another campaign there. That's should be doing that in this setting. If I do decide I'm going to incorporate any other tables or rules as I go along, I will let you know before the session begins, and then we can have a discussion if anybody wants to talk about maybe.
Your Alexander's iPad.
I'm not trying to make it vocal on Alexander's iPad. Thank you very much, Siri.
She wants to play too.
Siri, be quiet. I can't do that, sir. I can't do that. I'm afraid I can't do that, Sander.
I'm sorry, Hal.
Okay, so Rogar, sorry, we've got base of operations in chat. He says Rogar had internal bleeding due to that too. You did, didn't you? You had to roll a constitution check before you could do anything. It's fun. It's fun. The characters get hurt. It's fun.
There's some war wounds to talk about.
War wounds, exactly. I think most people just got scars. Most of the time they just got scars to talk about, but we definitely did have a few wounds in the old campaign.
It's actually really fun. It adds a lot to the role play and into your character. It helps personalize that for each character playing them, and I really like that chart.
Sorry.
Before you ask, regeneration does exist in this, but you have to go to as usual. You have to go to talk to someone who can cast that spell, and also we do have alternate replacements like clockwork limbs, which I actually have a little table, which I will show you if it ever becomes an issue. Okay. So, any other questions about the setting or gameplay?
Yes. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. I forgot. You said monstrous races.
Yes, they are
slime people.
Oh gosh.
Are they sentient though?
That. Yeah, they're this one. I think they'd be sentient, right?
I have never used slime people in the game.
I'm just wondering because if they're an option, and I could send you a homebrew. It's
I have a Sue in here.
I'm just saying.
I would like to see what. So, do you carry your items around inside you as you move?
Yeah, it'd be sort of like that. Yeah, it's sort of like a mini bag of holding that, like. I'm
just thinking of from Futurama. You know, the slime monster from Futurama. It's got the big sort of tip, and he eats people, and they just float around inside him.
See, I was thinking more of that slime anime that you were watching the day I turned into a slime.
Yeah, the time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Oh,
that's
wow.
cute.
Yeah.
Like Maple Story gooey cute slime. That's what I'm thinking.
I tell you what, you're going to turn up and go, I'm actually a good slime. I don't know. Send me the homebrew and do that. If I feel that it might be too difficult for you to do some Austin things, depending on what what like the negative modifiers are for that. I'll be honest with you and say you'd be very
The
difficult for
complete
you.
build on this one. If I was to do this, it would be like a wizard or something. Uh,
Another spellcaster.
or maybe a sorcerer, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've
2 dice of 1d4 dehydration damage.
Oh man, they're not. They actually really weak to certain amounts of damage, but they have like abilities to counteract that. It's sort of like it's weird. I'll send you the homebrew.
Okay, I'll have a look at it. I'm happy to look at all of them. I just, as I said, but if I do think it won't work, please don't hold it against me. I'll just be honest with you.
This has always been like one of those homebrews that I have that people are like, it's a slime?
That's
They don't even want to look at it. But
Okay, I will
if
have a look at it and see what it says. All right, so Synthis, you had a question? Sorry, and also this, Nick, you had a question?
On the topic of injuries, I had to ask, how do potions work? Is it an action, a bonus action?
No. Now, how potions work? I say if you want to use a potion on yourself, it is a bonus action. If you want to use it on someone else, it is a full action.
Okay, follow-up question on that.
Yeah.
The thief rogue archetype gives you fast hands. That is basically this. You can use your bonus action to use an object, which is the healing potion.
Yeah.
If
Well, in that case, what I would say is I would let you do it as a free action.
Okay.
I would basically level it up for you. If you want fast hands for the thief, that becomes potions, not everything. You can quickly choose the potion. It'd be a free action, and if you want to give it to someone else, I'll let you do it as a bonus.
Thank you. That was my
basically you basically grab them by the hair, open their mouth, and go. Yeah.
Like shove it halfway in their mouth, like glue, 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 like Donkey from the Shrek
Like
movie.
this, exactly right. He's like Donkey from Strahd, exactly.
Okay.
All right, so when I hear slime race,
My God, why do I know where this is from?
I think I've seen this.
artwork
Is slime race homebrew, resilient slime body, malleable form, internal pockets.
It's not. I've actually been able to get other DMs to use this because it's not exactly broken. It's actually pretty balanced. It's just a weird thing to implement to a game.
I will definitely have a look at it and see if we can implement it. Okay. If not, then there's so, as I said, there's so many other rules races and rules we can use. But if we can get something fun like this into it, then I don't see why not. But I just want to have a look it over before I say yes, if that's okay. Because it looks interesting. Send me the rules so I can have a look at it.
You're pretty good like that with the rule of cool.
Yeah.
If you sent it to me already, that's fine. I will look at it when I've got a moment because I need to D&D Beyond. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll have a read through that in a minute. The Azustius slime, more than just an ooze. All right.
I also have a picture if you want to see what my character would look like if I choose this.
Cool. Feel free to send that through to me. I'll look at that in a second. Any other gameplay questions? Any others come up? We'll bring them up when we come up to the next session. Basically, I'll keep a list of what we talked about so I can just quickly.
I think my only question that I've got is
I love it. That's really cool.
I know you said that if you want to switch weapons, that's a free action.
Yeah.
Is that the same with armor? Not armor, sorry,
No.
shields.
No. Shields.
Or would
No.
shields be like a bonus action or an action?
No. The reason why is because I don't want people to just drop their shield, cast a spell, and pick it up for free. You know what I mean? Because I know people are thinking about that. No, shields are a bit more difficult. You can't just pick up the hand; you have to slide it onto your arm, so you can't do it that way.
So how would you say it then? As a bonus action, if you want to pick up or put down the shield, or would that be like an action, or?
As a bonus, I would say if you as a bonus action, if you want to drop your shield, but then you need to use another bonus action next to pick it up again.
Oh yeah, yeah, perfect. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
On the same
Yeah.
topic, isn't just dropping on the ground, an object, a free action, a weapon?
Not if it's a shield, because shields are strapped to your arm.
It's true. It's true.
You wouldn't just be able to just drop the shield. You'd have to unstrap it and drop it off. That takes some time.
You're the DM.
So I just otherwise I've seen people abuse the drop and pick up rule for shields. I'm going to drop a shield. I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to pick it back up again. It's a bit.
Picking up an object isn't an action. Isn't picking up an interaction with an object which is a full action?
It should be, yeah, but I have seen some people use. I just clarifying. I said I don't normally when people just like sheath their sword and pick up their bow off their back, and that's a free action. It's weird, I know, but it just saves time, and people telling them they can't use their bow is just a pain. It's not very cinematic. I know it's not realistic because I mean normally it's not the way. I mean. You don't see like Legolas struggle to get the bow off his back to take a shot at someone and then throw a knife and then draw his knife and block the orc sword. But you don't see that.
Is it usually? What I've seen was the action economy was free action to drop the weapon you're holding, move action to pull out the other weapon, and then regular action to use it.
I think dropping the weapon is you lose the weapon until you use a full action to
pick it back up again. Yeah.
On the ground.
If you drop it on the floor, that's the case. Yeah. If you basically just drop it on the floor, you actually have to use your action to stoop down and pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's interacting with the world.
Yeah, only if it's on you is a move action. I meant because then it's like usually a move action draw your weapon. I think.
Yeah.
One of those.
I'll double check that, and I'll come back with a final decision for you before the next session.
Right.
So clarify it easily in step-by-step books.
I do want to ask because you said like Minotaurs and stuff. I'm looking at like Bolo's guide. Those they're not under the character races section. Is there a place we can find the stats?
Directly under it, there's a section called Monstrous Races.
You can find all of the races
okay.
in Guide to Wildmount. Almost all of the races that are currently available were printed in there.
There you go. That's fantastic.
Sub races though were limited to certain there's 4 sub races that were added. That were new.
That were added, but
I have not even seen Wildmount yet, so that's something I need to look at.
I need a link to that. Yeah. Not look that.
Like I only bought Wildmount from the D&D Beyond store, and I have all the races now essentially, except for a couple.
Well, as I said, if it's in an official book and you want to use a race, I have no problems with that, monstrous or otherwise. If you want to use a homebrew race, then I need to look it over first just to say yes or no.
Okay.
I'm going to contact you.
Okay, thank you.
In that book later then.
If you could do that, that would be brilliant.
I'm going to send you currently.
Okay, cool.
All right, you guys. That's sweet.
So was that?
I thought I wasn't followed to you guys, and I was like, oh, I am. Never mind.
Oh, that's good then. Thank you. Thank you for following us previously.
Yeah, I was following. I don't know what happened. I just went to the channel today. I was trying to look what was on, and for some reason I wasn't following anymore. I don't know what happened.
Hey, Twitch glitch. It's
Maybe
still going on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I should have seen last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one thing I'm is I'm not using the marks, the Eberron marks, like the dragon marks. I'm not using that.
God, yes, thank God.
Oh, does it exist in 5e? All right.
They do
This
exist
is
in 5e.
Eberron.
Terribly unbalanced.
And I'm not using that. So just to let you know, that's not happening. We do have a few. I'm as I said before, and I've said this before. I'm a bit of I like cinematic play. I like a game. I like it when you can make characters individual and so that you can have a lot of fun with them. If it means that we have to look at the rules and go, okay, we slightly bend it here or there, that's perfectly fine. As long as it doesn't OP a character to the extent that it's not fun to play with them in the party, I don't want anyone else to feel like this person gets everything or anything. It's basically, I want us to have fun as a party and to come together as intrepid heroes or villains who are basically writing their own story. So one thing more I'll say is this. I also use something called the Ancestral Weapons module. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, never read it actually.
I've heard of it, read it.
Yeah.
It's useful for weapons, but it did looking for, and I continue to struggle in making cursed damaging weapons.
Well, the thing is, right? If you want to employ an ancestral weapon, and but you won't start with one. Basically, you have to acquire one. Mm-hmm. In the series, but ancestral weapons are basically weapons that grow in power with their user. So kind of think of it more like a cloud sword. I always like, if you've ever seen Advent Children, how the swords all sort of click together to make an even more powerful weapon as it goes on. Basically, you get almost like you get spirit points as you got levels. Those spirit points can be used to give your weapon certain effect. So basically, it's a build your own magical weapon system, and it's good fun. We had one of our characters had that, and the other one, Rogar, had a hammer that could glow in the dark and shoot bolts of fire because he was a blacksmithing character.
He says in chat, "I love me an ancestral weapon."
I love the ancestral. It is good fun. It is good fun, particularly because you can sort of replenish your points by buying a more powerful version of a previously included spell or included ability. It doesn't just have to be a weapon. It could be a staff or a wand. They work for magic users as well. So what I'll do is I'll share the information on that module with you guys in a packet alongside a few other things I have to send you. I'll do that hopefully before Wednesday, so you can have a few days to have a look at it. I won't definitely before Saturday. And you can have a look through that and see if it's something you might think of is suitable for your character. If you don't want to use it, obviously you don't have to. It's just an option if you think that, and if you think this is something that might appeal to you in your character arc, like later on coming across something like that, then let me know, and we'll see how that goes.
Do you think? Do you think? Hey! Do you think we could roll?
We're gonna do some rolling now, guys. So
that was a very interesting segue.
This is. Oh, we roll on to glory, shall we? Roll on to glory. Let's roll stats. Okay. All right. We're gonna do some rolling. So so either you can choose a standard array, or we're going to use the Mercer method. For those of you who don't know who are listening, basically you roll 4d6. You choose the lowest dice out of those 46, and you remove them, and that becomes one of your stat totals. If you roll that 6 times, you can use them in any order. You can use each value for whichever set you want. Basically, you can't use the same value twice. So once you've used it, you have to use a different dice roll. And if together, though, all of your stats come to less than 70, you can re-roll. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So basically, if you roll really bad, you get like 8 for every stat. Then obviously you can re-roll again. But if it's over 70, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you only allowed
I'll-
one reroll, or you just like get like if you
You
get
You
reroll.
have to reroll the whole lot. If you're under 70, you have to reroll the whole thing and start again.
But
I
can
think
you
it's
still
already did
reroll
for
if
season 2 of Crit Roll, I think. So it'd be interesting.
do you like have is this do you get a reroll, or is there just like single roll if it's above 70?
No, you have to reroll the whole thing.
No, I mean like if you get one that's above 70 and it's normally how I'm used to doing is you have 2 rolls, and then the re-rolls that don't count are the ones that are below 70. I was wondering if we're doing it that way, or we're just saying one roll.
No, we're just doing a straight. We're just doing a straight roll through. So there's no basically the only time when you
So I
reroll
was
is
wondering if you're doing 2 genuine rolls or 1 genuine roll. Okay.
Yeah, one genuine roll.
So you're going to roll 4 dice and drop the lowest, or do you re-roll the lowest?
No, you roll 4 dice and you drop the lowest.
Gotcha.
Here,
And that
I'll
added
go-
together is the value.
Yeah.
I'll go first if that's okay.
And lovely Nick has created the template, so you can copy and paste that from what was in Discord, and it should just do it in the Roll20 chat.
Oh, cool. Where's that?
It's in the Kobolds General in the Discord.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you very much, Nick. I'm just gonna have a look at that myself.
I have 2 pumped up arrays for heroic horror characters. If you have too few players, they're in my resources on the top. One rolls 5 and drops the lowest 2. The other rolls 7, drops the lowest full score, and then the lowest ones.
Okay.
I'll try your method. Okay, let me try that. I was gonna do something else. Sure.
If we don't like our scores, can we just go to point by?
If you don't like your scores, you can go to standard array.
Wow,
Not point
really
by.
well.
We're not using point by.
No.
Sorry, I like point by so much better than standard array.
I know, but that's the trade-off. You get this, and we get some really good rolls.
Well, there's mine.
There you go, sit this.
Roll 20 tends to hate me, so I'm probably gonna get some really crap rolls.
Okay, let's see.
If you get really crap rolls, you can re-roll. Because if you're like below the 70, you can get whoa, there we go. Wow, that's a nice set of rolls for Catron.
Yeah.
How do you make that work?
You copy and paste what Nick put in our Kobolds General chat.
Just exactly as written?
Exactly as written, because I did check whether it was like /roll.
Okay, this is where mine's coming in.
Come on.
It's just Bob rolling.
You can do it.
Let's go, Bob. Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Oh man, that's definitely above 70.
That is good.
Look at those
You got 2
17s.
17s.
Yeah, I'm taking that. I'm keeping that. I'm definitely keeping that.
Are you sure? I thought you wanted the standard array.
No, I don't. This is much better than standard.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Yes, I love that. I'm keeping that.
You guys are never going to have to abuse your stats up at all, are you? It's going to be like, I'm just big eats.
I want
I feel really sorry. I feel really sorry for Sid. This he got the one red. I think he's the only one who got a red out of all of you.
Hey, I got 2 16s. I'm fine. I mean, yeah, 2 I'd be low.
That's 12 on yours, Kevin.
Bob also got a 9.
You got a 9, yeah, you got a 9. But that's mitigated by the 2 17s and 2 13s.
I know, right?
I
I was
want
like, yeah, I don't care. I'm a slime. Strength doesn't matter to me.
Exactly, that's what I was going for. I was want that strength.
Is that everybody rolled then? We've got Sithis, Carol, Bob, and Kevin. So, Nick, are you rolling in here, or are you rolling on? Have you already rolled?
I am. I'm just having an existential crisis because I have either pretty good luck or pretty shit luck. Let's see what will come up.
Come on, Nick, you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. How does that add up? Is it under 17? 24, 28.
Where's my
So,
slime barbarian artwork?
58. That's below 70. You can re-roll that.
Can I?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's below 70. So there you go.
Oh,
That's
okay, now I feel bad.
Yeah, I was sitting there with my mic muted. I'm like, that's only 64. Reroll.
Yeah. It's pretty shit luck or pretty good luck. You literally did that. Right in front of our eyes. And I think now even Bob, who was happy with the 17s, is a bit jealous of you.
How did he fare? I was not looking.
He got 15,
come the
11,
hell
16,
on.
15, 14, 15. Well, he literally, I mean, he got 60, he got 64.
Oh my god, look at this.
He was under 70, and now he's rolled this, and I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to.
That's
make
really
this game
good. Oh my
challenging for
god.
you.
Question: have we all gotten our character sheets on our journals yet?
No, not everybody has. I'll sort those out now, so I can send you character sheets. Let me add them all.
Okay.
So add a character.
I'm trying to find this artwork I made like an eon ago. That was essentially a slime barbarian.
I
Where
have,
are
do
you?
we have a party composition, or do we just play whatever we want?
Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, do we?
Just play whatever character you want. Don't go and don't worry about do we have a tank or not. Just have some fun.
Yeah, I like to think that we currently have a lot of casters, if I'm not mistaken, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
We have some. There's people want to be like X-rays and stuff as well, don't we? So we have some fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fighters.
That's good.
And so it's just Bob. Roll that.
So, let's see. I got
Save changes. Okay.
It all depends on how good the artwork looks, because I kind
Just to
of
let you know,
judge characters.
Bob and Kitten, can one of you change your colour slightly different? Because you're very similar in shade.
That is true.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. It's
All
only
three
because
of
I
you
got him.
It's
Because
exactly
I
the
matched
same,
him.
actually.
Nicola, there you go. Nicola.
My matches.
I'm gonna go
I didn't
teal.
pick my color.
No,
Yeah, you
also
can,
I've got,
You can click on the color next to your name, and you click it, and you can just change the
there
color.
you go. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to
Oh,
add
that's why. Oh, I haven't adjusted any. It's all weird, and all the icons are up at the top. I gotta adjust my setting.
Yeah, it was. You got to make sure it's on the icons or names only, so you can see the map.
Yeah.
So Supis, characters for you already up there. Kitten, character for you. There's a character for Callum. I just need to give one to Nick. Alright, 1 second. Add character sheet to...
Do you know what I really like is when I was using the character sheets, I noticed that they seem to have fixed. When you click on the lock to like delete something, or you wanted to change the order never seemed to work. You drag something up, release, and it just went back to its original. Now it seems like they fixed it. Because I never was able to do that in the past, where I could reorder something. I love that so much.
Have you got so this you're looking at the Osturius slime. Let me just have a look at that while you guys are starting to input things.
Yeah, because I played this character in a not like he was actually one of my NPCs in the homebrew game I told you about that I ran for 3 years. Because essentially all of the characters were slimes.
It's on D&D Beyond. Does that mean it is an official right, or is it a homebrew?
Oh, this is definitely homebrew, but it's one of those few homebrews that I found that are surprisingly balanced, considering the abilities you get and the negatives you receive, that balance everything out, and also it has some good lore to it. Surprisingly, most DMs don't like it because it's a slime and there's no real Faerun way that a slime is sentient.
Yeah,
but if we're not playing in Faerun, we're playing in a homebrew setting. Exactly. So I thought I might bring it up and show it as an option.
They just don't like slimes. We like slimes.
Yeah, because they're interesting characters that can be very fun if you play them in a way that
they are medium. So basically, so you wouldn't be like a blob. You would move around as like a slime character, but could be more if you wanted to.
Sort of. The way I pictured it is, you would have a humanoid form,
So you
and
get
the tiny gumdrop form.
Okay, so you get +1 to one of your stats. You have dark vision. You have color-based ability. That's your black, blue, and pink thing going on.
And it's not just colored to just black, blue, and pink. In each one, there's like the list of the colors you can choose that give the shades. Like for example, blue has teal, green, and I think a couple others. Then pink has a lot more redder, like brighter hues, like orange and stuff. One of my personal favorite ideas.
That Asterius slime is resistant to an element and vulnerable to 3 other types.
Exactly.
Which one is which?
You choose it at the start of character creation. When you're on D&D Beyond, it actually, for at least in this version of it, there's a drop-down menu that you choose either fire, ice, cold, or lightning, I think. And you're resistant to that damage type, but vulnerable to everything else. So you're squishy to very much elemental damage, but because it deals double damage to you if you're not the type that you're resistant to. But you also have those abilities like elemental consumption.
You can be a slime.
Yay!
Yay! Get a slime!
That's it.
If I'm not wrong, the duration thing that Roll20 uses, it doesn't have a lot of the subclasses.
No, it's best to make it kind of from scratch if you can.
It has one. It has one background.
It has one background called I believe
Acolyte.
Acolyte, yes, it was Acolyte.
It's just
and it only has one sub class for each one. It's like you can be a barbarian, but you can only be a berserker.
You can be a fighter if you're a champion.
But then you have to buy the books in here, which really annoys me because it's like
that's why I always started from scratch.
You got to buy the book from D&D Beyond. You got to buy the book from here, and you got to buy the actual book if you want the book. So it's like
you know where Beyond 20 is? It's a D&D Beyond extension for Chrome that basically lets it so you can roll and you click stuff for D&D. Character on D&D Beyond, and just have a token on Roll20, and it rolls it through the. You don't have to actually make a character sheet on Roll20.
Yeah,
it's really so useful.
It is useful. I ended up getting that. I haven't actually used it to its fullest extent though, but I do have it. Everyone on stream who's watching, you'll see the red logo next to because you're seeing what I see on in Roll20. So that chat box on stream, if you see at the bottom, it's got that's the logo for Beyond 20 for the.
I think, Base, I do not appreciate you making fun of the fact that I've made fun of the fact that characters just strong. Who's going to build themselves a maxed out strength character that can be hit at least level 3 this time? Then,
I see that. Yes, I see that. Very heinous comment. I say heinous with excessive sarcasm.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Bob, didn't you do a YouTube video where you drew a really cute slime?
I'm so glad you remembered.
Because I'm sure I watched it. I'm sure I watched it when we were speaking about slimes before, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you did a YouTube video." And I watched it like, "That is such a cute slime."
Yeah, I did the barbarian slime has been up there. Timmy slime, which is my wizard with the glasses and the wizard hat, is up there as well. I have not continued the actual story for that, and I regret about that because I want to continue it. I just got out of practice with the drawing, and life stuff happened. Yeah,
I love how Melmon looks a bit like a Pokemon. Like it's like Melmon evolved.
Yeah, that's what he looks like when he's raging. He just turns into that.
He's got like a spiked club.
Yeah, he has like a mace, and he flavored as his like physical form. Yeah, so great. He's actually a child in the campaign last, so he was like 6 years old, but when he gets mad, he gets like, "I'm swole."
Aww.
Are we
He
good?
goes
So
from
I know people
small
are.
boy to angry boy.
I know people are. By the way, I know this is like people are watching this going. This is an episode of the Clueless DM. What I am. Although I have a Tabaxi Rogue at the moment, that might give Rogue a run for his money. Base. Stop building OP characters base.
Never.
I have a
That
similar
is
kit player who does that too, so I get that feel.
No, base does not build OP characters. He just has good luck, don't you? Don't you, base? I know you're listening. I know you're listening. You and your lucky dice rolls, completely ruining my fun when I'm trying to kill you.
I'm trying to build an OP character. It's harder in this edition.
Really, I'd say it's easier. Okay, if we're comparing it to Pathfinder, then no. But in this edition, it's a lot easier to make silly characters, I feel, because you're encouraged to mix and match more.
Well, I'm actually quite interested in what they're saying they're going to do now is try and give races a more diverse background, because they were talking about that recently. So the most recent thing they were saying we really want to go forward by, saying let's make the backgrounds even more diverse, let you really customize your background of your character. Like who are they, So I'm really interested in that because also I think it was good the statements they came out with most recently of trouble.
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here. I want to play my Timus slime, which is the wizard.
Yeah.
I also want to play the Melmon slime, which is the barbarian.
Is that the green
I don't know
one?
which to choose. The green one, yeah, they're both technically teal. One is more watermelon colored.
So what would be quite interesting is if you were a barbarian that was a totem barbarian that was a bear.
Type, yeah, he's a totem.
You would not be weak to three things. You would just be normal with them. You would be resistant
Exactly.
or damage as well as normal. So as normal as well as weak at the same time. I don't know. I think both of them are cool. I think both of them are nice. It depends what you want to play. Do you want to be a combat-oriented character, or do you want to be a magic-oriented character?
I'm gonna leave it up to you guys because they're equally gonna be fun. Because one of them is just a lot more innocent, as Melmon, and one of them is a lot more nerdy and just like actually, but sort of voice and.
Forms of getting glasses so he can push them up his nose.
He literally has the glasses and everything.
Do you actually need glasses? No, they make me look intellectual.
How many? Yeah.
How
I don't
many?
think we have a wizard yet.
I think I vote for barbarian because I feel like we need some kind of person to not die out there. Well,
I think this is a good time that we can go through our ideas for our characters. And maybe just as people who are a bit share what ideas people are having, sort of what thoughts they're having for their characters. Do not feel pressured into playing the type of character you don't want to play. But let's go a quick around a little bit. And I know all of you will have done maybe a few lines in your character background sheet that I sent to you guys. Hopefully, if not, fill that in before next Saturday because I'd really like to have them so I can know what your sort of character's background is in a bit more detail. Let's sort of go around. I'm going to start with Kellum because we had a bit of a chat about this, didn't we, Kellum? So why don't we start with you, and you can tell us what sort of character you're planning.
All right. The character itself is going to be a warlock, a hexblade. Be mainly a fighter with some magic abilities, but not so much as a caster, more as a I'm going to curse you and slice you down into pieces type character. I don't want to delve into the race of this character yet. I'm going to kind of keep that secret for now. But needless to say, it's not they're like a paladin or a barbarian, but this character will be able to move around and fight with a weapon.
Okay. That's actually really good. Originally, I was playing a kobold hexblade.
I would like to point out that originally when we played that text game when I was a Hexblade Warlock and I was fighting against a wizard, I managed to get a sorcerer. I managed to get myself beaten.
Wizards are scary. Just saying.
I think he was a sorcerer, actually. I can't remember. Base, were you a sorcerer or were you a wizard? I don't know. Either way, he basically trounced me. I couldn't even get close to him. Anyway, I had the longest range spell in the game.
It just depends on how you build it.
I was only like level 3 or something like that. It wasn't very hard. Anyway, so we've got Hexblade Warlock. Sort of character race as yet is hidden. Male or female character, Kevin?
For all intents and purposes, female.
Wait. Oh no, I think you might have spoiled it to me at one point. I have a guess.
Okay.
I will be quiet though.
I mean, I never really care if the people behind the characters know, which is something, some people.
I'm good at role playing stupidity. Don't worry.
You know what I mean? I don't mind letting you guys know, but I would want it that your RP
for listeners,
you would have to find that out. But I'll go ahead and tell y'all. It's going to be a Yanti pureblood.
Yep, I thought so.
And we'll go with that.
Okay, so we've got a Slytherin here on our team.
Well, pureblood, they actually look human, so.
They do. They're just nasty. But that's okay in Aviendahl, I think. All right.
I think it'll be a good mix. It'll be a good mix to be able to do a little bit of damage and fight and hold our own. But like I said, not like a paladin or a barbarian or a fighter. They're not going to be able to stand there.
It's going to be really nice. And the thing is, since you're actually playing a character who like literally has 4 spell slots until he takes a short rest anyway.
Right.
Or she has a short rest anyway, then I mean you can really I've seen some Hexblade Warlocks play really well where people did like Thunder Step and jumping in to combat, Thunder Stepping out, and then doing all sorts of other cool things. Using that you can summon your weapon and
there's some really cool stuff.
It's really cool. I love the Warlock. I think the one thing I love about the Warlock is the little packs that they get. I just love the little like. It's basically like Warlocks get so many little mini feats as they go throughout the game. They're all their sort of patrons' gifts to them. I would like to talk to you about what your patron is. I mean, since we're not using Raven Queen in this.
Right. I've done some research, and I've changed my thought there toward the end. I wasn't going to do a Hexblade, and then the more I looked into it, I thought it sounded something fun.
It is fun.
It's very fun.
But the pack is actually made with a weapon.
It's made with a sentient weapon or a sentient shadow form normally. But yeah, I mean, but like I've seen people like making packs with alien shards that they found, like almost like Green Lantern rings, That was like their whatever form you wanted to take. If you wanted to be like an artificial intelligence from the stars, that's fine. But just so if you can think about how you came to make your pact with it. That's something you don't worry about till level 3 anyway.
Exactly.
Sorry, I had a little trouble hearing you at the end there.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't need to worry about huge amounts of stuff until you get to like level 3, because that's when you get like
right
pieces. How about who wants to go next? Tell us a little bit about the character.
Before we continue, I had a quick side tangent to go on. That has to do with the Hexblade. If that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was one of my players in one of my other campaigns is a tiefling, and is also a Hexblade, full on just straight pack to the blade. Her Hex is called. She nicknamed it Shank the Shiv, and her name is I believe Rossi, and it's literally just a dagger she found in a prison, and she just stabs people after just getting them a drink, and it's really funny. She's like a really chaotic neutral. She's the definition of crazy.
That's amazing.
And I love her.
I stabbed you. You're my prison wife now.
I actually have some thoughts about the weapon thing, but I got to go over and run those ideas by him. And
That's cool. We'll have a quick chat sometime during the week before we come to get that sorted. Cool. In High Rollers, not to plug another show really, but the High Rollers, they have one which is like called Ken Gong, which is like a Strahd of an ancient sentience. Which is like she's Hexblade Warlock, but she's got it's like a sentience of an ancient, almost like an ancient doomsday weapon that she wanders around with. It takes the shape of like a sword, and then takes the shape of a dagger later on, and a few other bits. So kind of cool, I think. That's sort of you can have fun with it. That's what I'm saying. We'll be Hexblade Warlock. You don't just stick to the script. Have some fun with that.
Okay, Hal Jordan's all you want to know.
Yeah, be Hal Jordan. Yeah, some of the green.
Well, it's the first time I'm straight into this type of character, so there's going to be some learning curve as well. So it's going to be fun, I think.
In brightest day, in darkest night. Sorry. Let's go with who else would like to share a little bit of their possible character? By the way, just letting everybody know what do you think may change between now and the next session? It does or it doesn't.
True.
Well, I don't have much to say, so I can go now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know much about my character yet, because I still wanted to look at a few and things about class select. I'm going to be either a cleric or a monk, probably. One of those, yeah, definitely one of those two things, because I know there are monks who can cast spells. I'm looking at those as well. And I'm going to be female, and I'm not going to be the nicest person.
Fair enough.
I'm picturing Beauregard from Critical Role.
No idea who that is. Sorry.
I'm picturing more like Azula from Avatar.
Yes, that would be pretty interesting.
That sounds like
just like I'm gonna act sweet until I don't need you anymore. And then
yes, I will discard you as soon as you're inconvenient.
Exactly. Okay, so that's good. I look forward to your fleshed out character sheet, so I can see a bit about your background, who you are, etc. You too. I look forward to coming to that as well. Who wants to go next?
I guess I could go next.
Alright.
As I said earlier, I'm leaning towards two options for the slime character idea. We have. I do actually want your input on like what because I try to please everyone, and also the both will be fun. So I want to know if you think I should play a time wizard, chronomancy subclass eventually, not now, or a totem bear barbarian slime that is essentially innocent until he gets angry. And he just loses. It's sort of like a split personality thing with that one, but not quite. He just goes hot. His eyes go hot white, and he just like gets huge and angry, and not like the size category huge, but he turns into that. I'll put a picture. Actually, I think I still have it. Chat. This was his old stat block that I drew. And he just rages around things. He doesn't really. He's not supposed to be the.
I quite like that. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I really like it. This cute little slime, and then the minute it's like we smash, grows really big, giant.
Yeah, he's like the Hulk in a sense. Yeah.
No, not yet, Melmon. You're fine. Okay.
He starts to grow, and he's like deflates.
It's like. Is this an enemy? No. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be playing him a lot like that. But if I do play the wizard at all, if we end up choosing that, or if
I'm kind of thinking of like also a bit like I know not what the character looks like, but I also kind of like in sort of like the classic Full Metal Alchemist. Can I eat it? No, you can't eat them yet. Okay. Aww.
That's so accurate, though. But instead of like, can I hit it? Instead of can I eat it?
Yeah. Can I hit it? Can I hit it? No. Aww. shoot.
You definitely have to heard this character in like a cat. He is essentially a 6-year-old.
That's cool. I mean, I also quite like the idea that means slimes being quite rare.
Yeah.
Slime that Melmon is a slime person. Probably because they don't need to live inside the sanctuary cities.
They really don't. They live forever essentially.
Yeah, because they can't be affected by undead. They can't be infected in that way. So it's like
they're monstrosities, but they're also elementals.
Yeah. So I mean,
like half and half.
So literally, they have their own thing going on out in the world, just completely ignoring shambling hordes.
Yeah, they tend to live in the Underdark, from what I lured them as last time.
Yeah, it's just been depopulated by a lot of races have just left that now because it's since the
taken over
down there. You know, it's basically it's probably like a slime utopia.
Yeah, that's what I actually. Fun fact: I don't know if, for those who actually read into my campaign on my YouTube channel, I think I mentioned this. Essentially, they created their own nation at the end of the campaign, where all slimes could live in peace and all that stuff, and they just used the wish spell. I'm
just kind of thinking reverse Superman story. There's a small outcrop of slimes who are like being overrun by the undead, who are just not killing them, just like trampling them because they're like moving through their town. And like you've got a little chute, and it's like you will go to another race and protect them. That's throws him through his suit. He ends up like landing in a small village field.
Yeah, there's definitely like some hero level characters in the slime village. Probably like the.
Do you think they'll know the is a real child? No, definitely not.
He's probably just the mindset of a child. He's been around for a while. Okay. Like if we're using the same character as from that guy, he was essentially the child, the like symbiotic child of one of the 3 heroes of the previous campaign. If I'm going by that lore,
I like it. That's very cool. Somehow he passed through a portal and ended up in this world.
That's actually how the campaign started. Like a wild magic sorcerer essentially teleported the 3 heroes out of the Underdark, and they had to find their way back, sort of Goonies style. And the campaign was called Gooies.
Gooies, I like it. Well, I mean, you can do that, or I mean, also, what's the concept for this time, this Chronomancer? Because I think Chronomancer is
actually one of the original heroes.
Is it Unearthed Arcana?
No, it is it's from Wildmount.
Oh, okay.
Again, I originally used a homebrew class for this guy, as a sort of time wizard. But when the new core book for Wildmount came out and they had the time wizard, like, yes. His full name is Timus Talk. He essentially, before the whole teleporting incident, he came out to the real world and stuff. He thought he's like Ursula. He thought he knew what the world was like through books and study, but he didn't. And he was completely out of his comfort zone. He was a very know-it-all type character, but he got like humbled a lot when he went out into the real world. And he's essentially a chronomancer, which is essentially time magic and gravity magic. Well, I was leaning towards time magic because it's Timus Talk, because I'm a huge time Doctor Who fan.
Fair enough.
Should have named him Timey Wimey then.
Oh, that
Timey Wimey Wobbly Wobbly.
There's probably a couple nicknames that have come up like that. If not possibly in the future for this campain.
Does he specialize in healing magic? He can be called the Doctor.
We're all going to take 4 psychic damage every time one of these names is said.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's sort of he used to be a just a complete know-it-all like Ursula. Like he thought he knew what the world was like, and then he got his viewpoint shattered after he realized. Or I could just do like a re-origin story for him because originally he's level 20.
Oh, whoa!
But we're gonna start. I could just do a whole retcon of his like original origin story and just use his character type, and that would be a fun way of just like reintroducing his character to this world. Either way, it could be very interesting. If you want to see what he looks like, I'll post a picture.
Alternate dimension version.
Yeah, it's like Timmy Light. Timus is his official name, but everyone just calls him Timmy. His friends call him Timmy, and he hates it. He has a birth certificate that he constantly takes out. He's like, I am Timus, talk. Yeah. And this was one of my more recent art pieces of him. He's the nerd with glasses archetype that thinks he knows everything but doesn't. And it's so great to play him. He has like
it's so much fun when you can really take a character like that. I mean, I did like in base operations game at one point. I did this thing where my guy was a sorcerer, but like to pretend he was a wizard because he didn't really let down.
Oh,
because
I love doing that.
He had this book, and there's like what's in there? It was just like little doodles, like because he didn't know how to like explain magic.
It was just drawings of like
point
casting spells.
Fireball appears, this sort of thing.
It was just like an art book of him just like vanquishing his foes with like fireballs, like really vaguely like crayon drawings.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great.
It was good fun, and then people were like, "You a wizard?" Yes, I am. Like all the people who did my order, I am definitely a wizard.
100% wizard. I honestly have never. I didn't get to play Timmy last time, so I've been really trying to play him. Yeah, I think Timmy would fit a lot because I don't think we don't have a wizard yet, right? And
yet.
To be fair, I'll wait until everyone else and I'll decide over the course of the week. But I'm leaning towards Timmy because I have played Melmon as an NPC before.
Well, you can always do what Sifis said which he posted in the Twitch chat, which was roll.
That's true. I could do like a flip a coin.
Roll a T2.
I'm just scared because if I lock myself in and I don't like it.
No, because it's that whole thing, isn't it? You roll or you toss a dice, toss a coin, and depending on how you feel, you'll know how you really feel. Like if you're not happy about the result, then you know it's not really what you wanted.
Okay, that's fair.
Didn't you take that from How I Met Your Mother?
No.
No, it's in Big Bang Theory, unfortunately.
In Big Bang Theory,
it's been done a few times. One of them was like a pregnancy test, and they lied and was like, "Oh, you're pregnant." It's like, oh my god! It's like you're not, but you now know that you would be happy if you were. So I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh god, that's serious.
Super cringy.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna actually go with Timmy regardless because I've never played him before, and the person who played him last, I want to do him justice, but actually at the same time, I want to try this new version of Timmy where he's actually using the official not a homebrew class, but like this Chronomancer, which I've never played before.
Nice.
I've played Melmon for like 3 years, so
I love it.
Yeah.
Does he like
might be grabbing
like spin around as he casts or something like that? Almost
I picture it like he has like it's sort of like a hat of holding, like but not really. It's just his backpack is the hat, and he just like it's like wizard. Like he takes something out of his hat and he like takes it off with his like gooey hand. He like spells come out of the hat. I don't know. I'm still working on the flavor. Because I want to do it a little bit different.
Oh my god, Dragonborn with sub variants now. I didn't know that. That's cool. Sorry, I got completely distracted. I was like,
no problem.
There's new stuff. I need to get this book.
So that said, I'm probably gonna do. Are we allowed to use the D&D Beyond and like use Beyond 20 for rolling? Can we do that? It's essentially what it does is it allows you to not have to deal with the Roll20 character creation and just do stuff on D&D Beyond. I can still send you the character sheet.
If you could do that, that's fine.
Okay, that's. Can
your rolls? I mean, will we still be able to see your rolls out on the table?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it does it exactly like it would normally.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as I can just have a look at your character sheet, that's okay. Just so I know what's going on.
The only thing I think that you'd need is a token to to
Yes,
link
that's
to
true.
the sheet. I think.
So I still need to make a character sheet, make a token, for me that is controlled by me. That's the only thing you have to do. Where
Sounds
are
good.
you? So I gotta get rid of some. I originally had this guy at level 20, so I have to downgrade him completely.
Is anyone else left to go with?
Nick needs to go, I believe.
Go on, Nick.
I would please, Kitten, go ahead. I have 5 to 6 different character ideas hanging on the string.
I mean, if you're stuck, you don't have to chair today. You can
Oh.
tell us when you come in the next lesson.
Oh, I'm not stuck. I just need to know if we need a caster, we need a tank, or we need something in between.
All right, I'll go then. So, my character is Caron. He's a Warforged Grave Cleric, and he's very much on the lines of if you die, he's gonna make sure that your sort of spirit is shipped off. He I think is going to be definitely more of a spell guy. To be fair, I mean, looking at where my stats are now, like I may have to try and tweak it, but I think at the moment he is definitely on the wisdom. And not much else apart from a little bit of constitution. So we will see on that. My character, if anyone has listened to or read Expeditionary Force, my character's personality is a little bit like Skippy's, the artificial intelligence.
Why don't you explain a little bit about what Skippy is? If you can summarize it in one word.
An a-hole.
That's fair enough.
Basically, he's slightly, actually, funny enough, it's a little bit similar to Timmy in the sense of he thinks he knows it all. My character, well, in the book series, he does know it all because he is actually an authentic AI. But my character is a little bit more on the, he has read a lot, but he still thinks he knows more than he probably does. I'm trying to think of a good sort of personality sort of idea. I don't know. It's like if you guys were like trying to eat for a really long time, my character might be like, "Oh, these damn meat sacks. Well, I'm just gonna go and find a body to bury because there's just too many out there." And he just sort of wanders off and goes off and does it while you guys enjoy your nice meal. That kind of thing. He's a bit. I don't know, pompous. Because Zanny, you've listened to the book, so you know the personality very well as well.
Yeah.
Do you know the personality? Can you do another example as well?
Basically,
hard.
he has a very good idea of the big picture of things, but he has very little common sense. Like for example, like he would completely he would make a plan. For example, let's say you guys are like making a plan to get out somewhere. He would make a plan saying, well, what we're going to do is we're going to walk along the bottom of the river to get there so we can't be seen. And then he would completely discount the fact that you guys need to breathe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, very self-centered, and he doesn't really, if it's very, very, very focused on, doesn't really understand the limits of people, like real people, flesh and blood people. Yeah, I'm hearing a ping as well. Don't know what that's for.
It might be coming
That's
from
from the
me
whole
because my
tiny.
Discord is but there was 2 large pings and I don't know where that came from. But it seems to have stopped now. Oh, whoops. Alright, so I can maybe blame Kevin. Oh, is that for the head popping up? I'm not sure. But yeah, so he's got that kind of personality. Hopefully, I'll be able to share it a little bit more because I want to be really careful. Like we've had people that have played being an a-hole before, and it was almost like Joffrey Game of Thrones, and that's not my character.
There's a difference between the style you're playing.
Yeah,
and
mine is meant to
Joffrey.
be more jesty, more sort of tomboyish joking kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Think of it more like, like, why didn't you tell me about this? I'm so glad you're okay. It's like a sort of combination of emotional / not really understanding other people's limitations.
yeah. And also
Um,
because he's mechanical as well. Like for me to make this character, I was like, oh, that's perfect because he doesn't breathe, he doesn't eat, and he doesn't know human ticks and cues and everything. So it's just like, yeah, that's great. I can definitely see a Skippy-esque character. But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I mean, there's some other quirks that he has. I think I'll leave that as a surprise. Um, but and there's a couple of things I'm gonna keep hidden. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this character. It's gonna be cool. I mean, he doesn't really have any connection with gender or when people go off into a room and want to be left alone. He has no like
No privacy.
no understanding. He sees people go off together, after they've had a nice night at a bar. He might go, I need to speak to him about this massive plan we have. And he just doesn't get it, like to leave them alone. He'd be like banging on the door and like, let me in. Is she hurting you? I will protect you. Something stupid like that. So.
Oh, that's great.
oh wow. Okay. So and that is our grave cleric, and also just you are a grave cleric, yeah.
Yes.
And also we've sort of just made an exception because it's cool. In the fact that you have a scythe, don't you?
Yeah, I said to you if I could have a possible sickle instead of the light crossbow that I got, or instead of the mace, and you were like, well, no, the sickle's boring, and I was like, well, I'm just trying to work it out because I really do like the idea of that. I have some sort of thing that looks like a scythe, whether or not it would actually do damage. And you
it basically counts as a glaive, and also she is not she's not proficient with glaives or pole arms or anything like that. She can't take the pole arm mastery ability as a feat. It doesn't count pole arm. Basically, it does count for every other affectation.
Yeah, basically you've allowed me to as part of my backstory that I've had training with specifically working with scythes as a grave cleric because this is for the monastery that I come from. It's like this is our focus weapon that whether it works well, it's just tradition that you get specialized, and so thank you for that.
I've allowed Kitten's character to take like 2 little changes. Now, Chief and I have had more time to talk because we live together. So it's easier to talk about these. But as I said, I'm happy to make little changes to character suit your characters more. Little changes, not massive changes. And I'm happy to, if you feel that your character would have this item or this ability, just chat with me, let me know, and we'll talk it through. And if it works, it works. Okay.
Speaking of magic items. Speaking of items that we potentially might have, there's a common magic item called the Hat of Wizardry that was actually part of the character beforehand. I actually mean to ask this. Is it possible for this common magic item to be given to Timus?
You can use it as, I'm just having a look at it. You can use it as a focus for your spells. This is basically the hat from Fantasia, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what he's wearing, actually, in the picture.
If you try to cast a cantrip you don't know, the cantrip must be on the wizard's spell list, and you must make an intelligence 10 arcana check. Well, it's easy you can cast a spell if the check fails, so the spell and the action comes first. Either way, you can't. So it's only one off till you take a long rest, right? You can do one cantrip that you could normally do, and then you take a long rest again.
Correct.
So it's like in the case it's probably I don't see why not. It's a very minor ability. I don't see why you can't have that. That's cool.
Okay.
But we have to just double check. And we have and we're not going to explain quite what yours is, are we yet? We can have a bit of fun with that in the first session. Unless you want to.
No, do you know what? I will. It's gonna come up pretty much immediately. I think as soon as we exit, because we're gonna be starting in a sanctuary city, so they're not gonna. Oh no! I'm gonna roll dice and decide.
Undecided.
I'm gonna do a D4. 1, 2. I do not say. 3, 4. I say. Nope.
Okay, it's a secret. All right.
Keep it secret. Keep it secret.
It's a very minor ability as well. So, but it's just something that was flavorful for the character. So he did it. I have a viewer question. Can viewers give them advantage, disadvantage rewards in this campaign? That is a very, very good question.
Because originally with my Curse of Strahd, I did allow that players could get advantage or disadvantage from viewers, as well as monsters could also have that same. So it's up to you as the DM if you would like that to continue or not.
Can I think about that base and come up with the answer for the next session, please? I don't want to just make a jump into it without thinking.
Of course you can.
Cool.
That's normal.
Okay, and so finally, I believe the last one is Nick. You got a character idea for us? It doesn't have to be fully fleshed out yet.
A few are. My first question is: do we form up for now to be a bunch? Are we going to be a band of assholes?
I certainly hope so.
You're living in a lot of you are living in a really tough world. So I mean, maybe you would be a-holes, but you would be kind of like you're all jaded. You're living in a world where you literally cannot leave. I did not come up with this idea during COVID-19, but you literally cannot leave your city without getting overwhelmed and mauled by the dead. Until you become a wayfarer, you don't actually have the ability to even go beyond without possibly getting turned into a zombie or another form of hunting. So I don't know if everyone's a band of a-holes, but I do. I would not be against you guys being slightly jaded, as long as everyone's having fun and it's not like and it's not no one's being nasty to anyone else, and no one's killing poor helpless little old gnome ladies.
Well, in the description of the anti-pureblood, it made me laugh because it made me think of Star Trek because it's void of emotions.
Yep.
Only uses people as a tool to achieve a greater means. So there you go on that one.
All right, so there you go, Nick. It depends on how the characters play, how people play their characters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think in this world I sort of see it as like no one is going to be cuddly and friendly. It's all going to be like wary or suspicious or,
Oh, I don't know. You could be cuddly and friendly. You could be like, what's the name from Ruby? The one who has the big hammer. That literally just completely and utterly.
Nora.
Yeah. Nora. You could be completely like just completely and utterly loopy and crazy all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the best.
Don't say was. We haven't got that far yet.
Actually, I don't watch Ruby, so I'm just saying words.
Oh, okay. That's what I normally do.
We've only just finished volume 3. We've only just discovered Ruby, okay?
Yeah.
I have not watched a single episode. Don't take anything I say with any validity.
That's what I normally do. Like, if a group is like been watching something and I've never watched it, and I'm like, I want to feel included. This person dies. What? And it's like, they didn't die. Why would you say that?
It was really funny because she said to me, I really like this. It's not quite as silly as some other anime. And then we went into the food fight scene.
Oh, no. And I was defending it.
I liked it until this part.
Best episode. Yeah, I love that one. I also was nice the animation first season. Like, oh my god.
It does improve. It's subtle, but it does improve.
Yeah.
Suckle?
Oh, it's grand.
I heard the word suckle.
To be fair, we're still in volume 3 at the moment.
I'm re-binging it from the beginning, and
I'm on the mountain goes like this all the time. Really, really, really big mouth. I don't know. Wipe out tree frog.
I just realized that grung exists. Oh god.
Okay, so Nick, sorry.
Man. Have you ever heard of the racial, the grung, which are essentially frog?
Oh yeah, you could have been a tiny little frog person. Oh, that would have been cute. Oh well.
I'm just saying, I just want to balance out the moral specter of the party.
All
Moral
right. Well,
wise, if like going
how
on
about that?
alignment to help give a
You can
guide,
start
I'm
off
more
with
for
a really
neutral.
nice character, and then if you
Sorry.
find out that everybody's really nice, you can like be like, I was faking it the whole time.
I'm doing that with being smart, so.
I can do. Two character concepts go into two different ways. They start one way and they potentially go the other way around. That's my dilemma.
Well,
I've just accepted that nothing goes as planned, so.
One is a rogue, one is a sorcerer, and it's on the reverse of what you think. The nice one is the rogue, the fuckery one is the sorcerer.
okay.
And it's a divine soul sorcerer on top of that. And
Oh
the rogue
God,
is an assassin. The assassin rogue is the good one, the divine soul sorcerer is the fuckery one.
Why not go trickery domain cleric?
Because we have a cleric, and because I'm going to step too much on Kitten's toes.
You have two clerics at the moment.
No, I mean like for that character who wanted to be the fuckery.
Hey, we are a PG13 stream. Just reminding everyone, we're
You
going
only
to keep
get a couple swear words.
It's not.
I'm so I completely blanked on that. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I heard him say it, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, excuse me. It's more of like
Shenanigans. How about shenanigans?
No,
Is that
it's not
appropriate?
shenanigans. It's straight up. I would say this character board is riding the line on edgy, and I'm hoping it does not become that. And I will get them out of there if it becomes something that hinders anybody's experience.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, just I don't. I just want you guys to have fun. This as I've said before, this is my catharsis. I've worked hard at school all week, and this is my chance to really break loose and have some fun with people.
And by the way, you're not going to tread on my toes if you did decide to go cleric wise. Like, that's totally fine. I only really care about the dead and making sure their spirits are shipped off. Other than that, cleric wise, there's not much else that my character cares about in that respect. So it's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to make a decision now, or do you want to wait until the first session to make a decision now?
That's the thing. I'm going to wait a bit. If everybody else is done with their kids, I'm still thinking on it.
Cool.
I don't know if I will.
I know exactly what you mean, because that's exactly what I did in the last campaign. I just kind of sat back and waited and like, all right, I can do this.
All right, guys. What I'm going to do now is we're going to unless we have any other questions, I'm going to call the session, put the start and to close it down. I really go to the bathroom, and it's also because we haven't eaten yet. So if that's all right, we'll do you have any other questions about characters or creation?
I have a question.
Yep.
What if we all played clerics? Deus Vult, Deus Vult, Deus Vult.
Oh,
That's Paladin.
That's Paladin.
We could be the A team. No, the Amen. Amen. The Amen.
Scooby Doo. I've got you guys. You got the little slime. That can be Scooby, and you got the.
Definitely, if I was going Melmon, if it was Melmon, I'd definitely be Scooby.
I was thinking nobody would be more like Scrappy Doo. Let me at him! Let me at him!
Oh God, that's so accurate. I think I'm more like a Velma, not Velma. Sorry.
So you're Velma. Velma's over the guard.
Velma. That's.
You're Velma. Caron is maybe more a bit like Fred. So like maybe who's Shaggy? Who's Shaggy?
Who would be Shaggy?
So like Scoob.
I volunteer.
I volunteer to tribute.
Oh,
I'm going with the divine soul sorcerer concept.
He gets to match
is a holy being, so he only uses 1% of his power at all times.
He takes the magical herb of relaxation, which is great, but it means you have to eat twice the amount of rations to survive that everyone else has to do every day.
Oh my god.
Oh, FYI,
No,
guys,
druid.
my character, though has Sacred Flame as a cantrip, is scared of fire. And if ever we go, because I mean, the way he's been made, like he's got like this ethereal blue sort of energy flowing through. It's not like fire. And so when he sees fire, it's like, oh my god, my skin, my metal's melting, no. And like even if he does Sacred Flame, he's probably gonna scream as he does it when he's like he have his eyes closed as he like targets. Like, open your eyes! I can't. It's scary. It's fire.
Oh god.
So that I thought would be quite amusing because I was like, well, he's metal. What would he be scared of? Hey, Susie Kitty. I was like, he's metal. What would he be afraid of? Like rust? Would he be buffing himself all the time? Which sounds really rude. And I was like, maybe not. And I was like, fire. I'll go with fire because it's more fun. Especially if we go to blacksmiths because like forges. If he sees a forge, he's gonna like go, no, I'm gonna wait outside.
He's gonna know about.
She wouldn't listen to me. I said she should be like Bender, Futurama. Just walking around.
Oh,
I like Bender.
But he's a bit too graphic for a PG-13 stream.
No, he is, but he'd be a great Warforged character, wouldn't he? He's just sitting there.
I did play essentially a Warforged that was very much similar personality, but at the same time, he was also a personality like Sherlock Holmes, combined with Bender.
I would have made Bender a bard, because he just has that sort of, look at me! I'm done. Oh, look at me! It's got that very sort of like in your face character.
Like
my
shiny metal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bender is great. It's really, really great. You never can believe just how great he can be. I
love that. By the way, I just tested the Beyond 20 thing and it works.
Perfect. All right, guys. So, Nick, you're holding off till next week to give us a bit more thought. Is that right?
Oh no, I am going with the Divine Soul Sorcerer, and I'm currently filling out my character sheet.
Perfect. You have a Divine Soul Sorcerer, people.
Nice.
What I told you about, I think I told you, or
yes.
at least
yeah. You put it in the thing earlier. Yeah.
All that. And a little more I'm going to do.
I look forward to reading your character thing. Please, guys, for next Saturday, you can fill in your character background sheet for me and send it to me through Discord. That'll be great. Now I'll upload them into my library. So I've got them.
I'll give you a shareable link.
They can be living documents, guys. So basically, if you make some changes, you can always upload and send me another copy and say I've changed this or added stuff. What I'm doing is I'm actually as I'm using World Anvil, I'm going to be creating profiles for your characters in there and like trying to record your story as we go along.
So really
kind of like building a wiki page for your characters and the people you in to help me keep track of the campaign.
And it's going to be really cool to see as well, like as a reference point. Like if we forget something in our notes, we can go have a look. And if viewers want to check out the world, then that's
and synths.
Ask you for help at some points because I really do want to try and create a proper fleshed out world with you guys as the main characters, the main protagonists. So, or
I have a question. What's the situation going on in this world?
Well, it's been going on several sets recently. Because I need to double check that because with my timeline. But basically, it's been long enough for the cities to be built up for cult developing based around these sanctuary cities. At least 4 or 5 generations, maybe more. I need to double check that on my timeline, which is on World Anvil, which I'll need to go and log in to.
Okay.
All right. So before I left.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, basically, there might be some people, some elves around or something, or who remember what the world was like before this. But think kind of like in Lord of the Rings, how like Elrond remembered how the world was before Sauron came.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. But most people will only know this world.
Okay.
Maybe Strahd might remember it because he's.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're playing Strahd.
He's more than
completely forgot about
350 years old, I would expect so.
He's
Alright, guys.
basically a god at this point.
Yeah.
Which makes that quite scary to think of it, actually. Like,
Yeah.
He's more than a
he's bit
vampire. He's
more-
like a god.
I want to just put a shout out here to these wonderful pride emotes that Susie Kitty's using.
They are lush.
Absolutely loving those.
Yeah, I like these. Yeah, I wish old Pride notes were still there.
Where are they? There's my.
I just got a ton of these last night. And Ari's
my
in
emote?
string.
Just
Oh, there we
what's
are.
that?
It's like but except.
I see where you're going with this. Thank you for making that PG13.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Because
it.
he could just be doing fun.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah. Yeah. I just let it trail off because I know that TOS is kind of finicky.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Another question on character
Yep.
creation, just to finish off things.
Okay.
Do you use the which is basically in the book that you can customize backgrounds?
Like all things where you use customization, I don't mind if you want to customize it, but you have to let me know and inform me as to how it goes, because I just have to make sure that it would fit in with what I've got planned in Aviendahl. Is that all right?
Definitely.
Just allowing the shuffling of proficiencies, and instead of two languages, you two.
Yeah, that's fine with me. That's fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
thank you.
I don't mind that. That's perfectly fine. If it makes sense, it makes sense. It's like, why does a sailor not know how to use, basic carpentry tools? I mean, maybe when he has to fix his boat up. I'm okay with that. Okay, so if you don't mind, guys, I'm going to close this session today. We will have maybe a few Discord chats and things throughout the week. I'll try and be on most evenings if you want to contact me and have a chat with me. If not, just make sure to do a mention to me as well if you want to get my mention. So just mention my name and I'll get the list, the thing come up as as an alert. And
Shameless plugs.
shameless plugs, yeah, it
Do
will be
it.
shameless plug.
We always shameless plug.
Always shameless.
Okay. I would like to shamelessly plug my YouTube channel and Twitch.
That's fair enough. Yep. If you want what we'll do is at the end of each session we normally have like we have our people who are our subscribers, not subscribers, you know what I mean, our
Patreon
people.
supporters.
We had a few Patreon supporters. We probably don't have them anymore after COVID because
No, we still do.
we did. Okay, we still got some Patreon supporters. Sorry, Patreon supporters. I really apologise. I've been completely off
We
track
love you,
with
Base. We love you, Pluto. We love you, Kevin.
Online teaching has been my bane and my joy. It's been a really interesting experience, and I now know how to use Google Classroom better than anyone else in the world. I tell you. It's just I'm fluent in Google Classroom and Google Meet. And all
And
that.
soon OBS.
You're fluent in OBS. It goes to show where our priorities have been.
A little bit, yeah.
Not fluent in.
Do you use OBS Studio?
Belly, though. That's something that COVID belly still has to do. Sorry.
I was just wondering if you use OBS Studio.
Yeah. We
Yeah, I'm learning OBS at the moment. I don't know how to use it, so I've got OBS and I'm learning an overlay. I'm very proud of me too.
It's taking him enough time.
As you can see, this is my wonderful first attempt at a background, and then it was completely and utterly ruined by the fact that I didn't know how to do anything. And Kit was like, "I'll save you. I'll use my old Curse of Strahd background to help us till I can get everything sorted out." So this is actually, I'd like to shamelessly plug, this was Kitten's Curse of Strahd campaign, whereby she made these wonderful overlays, and I'm now stealing them for my own purposes. because I am just that bad at anything to do with OBS at the moment. I'm fluent in stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you. It has been absolutely amazing to say to people who are watching, amazing for those people. Thank you for coming in and joining us. It's our first time back after about nearly 4 months now of being offline. Really, we haven't done very much. We have actually had some success. We had our first painting competition that was successfully won by someone, and was sent to America. I had to send a. That broke my heart because once I finished painting, I wanted to keep it, but that's not what it was there for. And that was absolutely brilliant. So what we'll do is we'll be starting up the painting competition again very, very soon. Please keep an ear to the ground so we can tell you the new schedule for that.
Yeah, get some things to plan and get going.
And just be aware that we will be shamelessly plugging everyone's channels and things at the end of each session.
Just also remind us, especially with the lovely new members of the campaign. Obviously, when we're in Discord, sometimes it's been a while that we've chatted and blah blah blah, and it's like, just remind us that you stream. Just remind us your channels exist so that we can actually go.
We want people to enjoy your content.
Or we don't remember, we'll forget. Where I mean, there's so many awesome people, and we want to actually support you all. So, if you Sithis Plays, he has a channel, and I've not been on very much, but when I see him as he's on, I will go and say hello. So,
Thank you. Yes, I really need to get back to trying to stream. It's been hard recently, but
same. It's trying to find that. It's trying to find the bug while the stupid bug's going on.
Yeah. I do need to get back into doing YouTube videos, just like putting more of my campaign out there that I previously had.
See, I actually got my YouTube channel set up, and I'm just really nervous to actually start doing something on it. Compared to streaming, it's really weird. I'm like, I could do a YouTube video. I'm like, no. Do something.
It used to be the reverse for me, because I started out on YouTube, where I did animation videos and stuff like that. It's my third channel. And I used to do COD montages. Then I went to a Pink Prince and I did animation channels, animation videos about stuff and things. Then I have this one, which is for my D&D stuff and my new Twitch channel. So I'm just trying to I'm just constantly forgetting about my social medias and Twitches and YouTubes because of all life stuff.
Well, these videos also go on our Evil Palace YouTube channel, which we have, which goes up. It has to because we are now affiliates. We have to wait a little bit for that to go up, but it goes up after. How many days is it, or how much time is it?
It's only 24 hours.
24 hours. There's 24 hours after we've done things. So we will shamelessly plug your channel on there as well as and we'll get your thing as a liked channel on there as well.
Oh, I very much appreciate that. When you say you're affiliates on YouTube,
No, we're affiliate on Twitch, which means that because we stream on Twitch, it's 24 hours before we can take that content we've done on Twitch, 24 hours, and then put it somewhere else, basically.
Yeah, I've never actually done VODs on Twitch and put YouTube, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
You can make Twitch stuff to put anywhere immediately. I used to do that all the time. That's how I started. I used to do YouTube. I did it for 3 years, and I quit in like March or something of 2018. It's my last emote or last upload because they changed the editing stuff, and my editor program I was using went down, and instead I tried to learn a new one that was such a pain. I just stopped uploading. I lost Passport, and it's just a lot more simple for me to stream on Twitch, and that's just what I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped YouTube talk and all of the restrictions that have now been put on YouTube, and all the things that I normally like. Just been crazy. And that's actually, I got my original channel was deleted after hitting like 1,000 or so subs, because of just straight up boom, 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 boom copyright strikes that were not even valid. Like they were like, it was during the time when a bunch of companies were just hiring random blokes to just claim stuff that weren't theirs, and the algorithm and the whole thing for YouTube was essentially, if you got claimed, you got claimed, and no one really looked into it because
Yeah. Well, we've
Okay.
seen a few of those. We've seen a few of those, like there's some like, channels like Sword and Steel had a problem where they had some companies just take them off because they mentioned a paint that wasn't being used anymore.
And also, guys, like
Um,
rest in peace as well to music on Twitch. Just like there's going to be a lot more
yes,
lo-fi going on in
but we
EDM and
have a
everything.
nice
So yeah,
collection of music we can use that is
we
copyright.
do. Yes, thank you,
Yeah,
Humble
well,
Bundle.
Yeah, I also I'm doing a little thing where I started at least like last year, and I revamped it. It's a radio station. It's essentially a in-game radio station for Star Citizen. That I'm in lore radio station for the game Star Citizen that I backing is the right word. And it's essentially it's a bunch of music that that I've just it's according to TOS, I believe, as long as you're not recording, at least it used to be. I don't know if it still is. As long as you're not holding broadcasts in the like keeping them in your folder, like that you can view them in the past.
Mm.
You're still able to just stream music. It's some music is just not copyright allowed, and just like it's not allowed. But like Monster Cat is one of those exceptions that if you have like you can get.
We lost you.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people ended up sort of going on Twitch and then deleting all their clips, and I said to those that actually posted on Twitter that they did that. I was like, no, just download it and then just put in a video and then put put uncopyrighted music over it, and you're fine. Shall we go to
I'm
raid
just to say
though?
we're sort of like going off into a different topic.
We are,
Maybe is a little
sorry.
bit off topic from
apologize.
D&D. That's okay.
Do you want to raid now?
And I really do think I really do really end the yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I am.
Let me know when you want me to go to the end screen.
Yes. The end screen, please. Thank you.
You won't be able to speak, so if you want to say goodbye, you want to say goodbye now.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much, guys, for coming. It's been absolutely brilliant having you here. New players, old players, thank you so much. And thank you for putting up with my saying, I'll get back to you about things, because I'm still, as I said, still quite new to me to do it. Enlightened me in some ways as to things I need to start thinking about. We'll be having our next session at the same time, so it'll be 10:30 GMT plus 2. On next Saturday, we'll be starting with our first campaign, with our first step to our campaign, level 1. And if you could make sure that you get your character backgrounds to me before Saturday, that'd be fantastic. I hope to also give you your map pack and a few other bits. Well, can I just say thank you for watching us? You guys are amazing. Thank you for people who've been taking part in the chat as well, including our players who are in the chat as well. Sidis, just Bob, everybody who's been in there as well, and thank you for those people who actually come to watch us after our first stream in a little while. Brilliant to see you again, and thank you, and hopefully you enjoyed this thing.
And stay tuned. We'll do a raid. We're going to raid Mad Bird Streams. They are doing. They're playing D&D, so we're going to hop over. And yeah, so we're going to go to the end credits. But yeah, please stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.